Yeah, it's your boy Jangs back with another video. This time, gonna focus a little bit on FIFA and Ultimate Team. Because if you just start in FIFA and you want cheap, effective team, especially in the Premier League, I'm gonna give you a cheap, effective meta team for starting out. Can hold you for at least a couple of weeks if you just get in FIFA. For example, Christmas coming up and you want to see the cheapest Premier League team to buy or the most effective one. And the players I pick in the final team, the one is going to be the team I use for at least 3-4 weeks, because I don't really buy packs and I don't put money on the game. I actually earn it through Foot Champs, Rival and stuff like that. And as we only got, like, for me, there's only three striker if you start in the Premier League and you want a Premier League team and you're just starting out FIFA. For me, there's only three strikers personally, so it's only right I start with the three strikers. These are the two of them. Werner is the easiest one, so start off with Werner. Fast, can finish, and I'm still using Werner now because he's effective, and I can't afford his 88 card, so we move on. But Werner is really efficient on this game. I call him Mr. Dependable. If you're good on the game, guaranteed to get goals with him. But he's not the guy, he's not the striker who's going to hold the ball up and things like that. You have to get him going, so it's either 1-2 pass or tactical dribble and then accelerate off. That's the way to use Werner. He's not the type to do all the step overs and all of that. It don't work efficient with him. Whereas to Gabriel Jesus, you can do more of that stuff, more tactical dribbling, because he's not as fast. But if you're good at dribbling, then you'll be good with Jesus, because his off the ball movement is very good. It seems when you play a through ball to him, it seems to get through. He's one of them players. There's a few players like that on it. He's one of them, and he's cheap. Like everyone in the team I put out is gonna be a cheap team, but it's gonna be effective. Trust me. Like I'm saying, the players who I put in the final team are players that I actually played with for a good period of time. And the third striker, and the one I use with Werner, because I don't know, he's just more effective for me, is Marshall. I also had Marshall and Ben Yedder for a moment, but obviously I went the Prem team, so I went with Marshall and Werner. Marshall's similar to Ben Yedder. Like, they shouldn't be as good as they are on the game, but they are very effective. Personally, I'm very good with Marshall because I can do the close control stuff for that with him, and like I said, he's a bit quicker than Jesus, and he's stronger as well, better passer. So Marshall is like my hold up guy, so when I go into him, because he's strong on the game, when you're playing, he's strong and he gets through, and his finishing is deadly, especially if it's a side foot finish. He's deadly. So they're the three strikers. If I was starting a Premier League team now, I would have two of them three strikers. If you have to go with one, you would want to go with Werner, but me personally don't think it works well with one up front. But that's just my experience of playing with it. And if you play with Marshall up front, the hold up play will be there, but to getting in behind is not as good as Werner. So which is why the team that I'm giving is best playing with two strikers. I think it's more effective that way, and which is why the middle part of the team is important when you play these. I like these two, but they didn't do it for me. A lot of people started off with them, because you know what you get when you get them from the start of the game. A lot of people started off with these two. I didn't, because like I said, I play a bit different from, well, everybody plays different, but a lot of people like to follow like the trend on the game. Like, see, people that plays this formation will always drop deep and then defend. I'm not into that, especially because I play Foot Champ. Not that I'm saying you don't play foot champ, but I play foot champ is win or lose. That's it. So I want to be attacking quick and stuff like that. So I don't really play with these two there. I play with these two in my team. And I also don't play with this formation, so it might change the team a bit. I play with that. And I also have it where I can change to a diamond in game. That's what this is the 4 I started with. If anyone played FIFA this year, they already know how OP Freddy's normal card is. I'm tempted to buy his Champions League card. I still might buy it later today, or in a couple of hours just before United game. I still might buy it. But yeah, these two, trust me, these two together are overpowered. Like OP as shit, these two together. Foden's a destroyer. Like I'm saying, if you're just starting out FIFA, this is not for people who've been playing FIFA for the last few months and that and already got their team established. This is for people who's just getting FIFA or just started Ultimate Team for some reason and only just getting into it. These two in midfield are what you want. But I will also give you other couple of two players in midfield that you could probably use and get away with. Like you're already seeing Allen and Sissoko. But if you want to spend a bit more, you have Bobby Firmino, really good, high. You also have Fabinho, holding midfielder, really decent, but a bit slow. But his positioning and tackling and just his presence alone covers all of that. Gundogan, but I don't like I said, there's a few players you can put in, but if you want OP, and like I said, I play this game in mostly foot champ, so it's win or lose for me. So this is why I want attackers fast, especially at the start when I was playing. Well, to be fair, my team's still the same. My team's not the same. My formation's still the same, and it works for me anyway because I've been surviving. And like I said, I don't put money on the game. Or everything I get comes from either getting players in pack, foot champ, or rival. But yeah, if you're just starting out the game, these 4 players, or you might prefer Jesus over Marshall, but any of them 4 or 5 players is a must in my eyes. Now a lot of players go for these two at the start. The obvious with Adama Traore because he's fast. Personally, I don't play Adama Traore, and I'm not even one of them guys who put him on as a super sub or anything like that. I play with a quick team, but I'm not a speed merchant. I just have to have a quick team to combat the speed merchant. I don't play with him because technically he's not good enough for me. I don't want a player who's just gonna be running and that. And the same goes for him. But people are gonna say, oh, but Maximo is 5-star dribbler and that. But then when you 5-star dribble and get into the position and you shoot, it's going wide. Or so me personally, didn't use Saint Maximo or Adama Traore because I didn't think they was effective. The right wing, I kind of already knew who I was going to put in my right wing, but I had to try a few. So the ones I tried was Rafinha, the Brazilian from Leeds. Okay, but what the guy for me. Like I said, Adama, no, what good. And then I went for Lucas because if you played last year, you realize, or you knew how good Lucas was. I thought it'd be as effective, but Lucas didn't work. So I had to go to. At the time as well, I had enough money. I could have bought Sancho, but I didn't buy Sancho. I went with Leon Bailey, and I still play Leon Bailey every now and then, but that's every now and then because obviously I have my right wing sorted out. But I went with Leon Bailey, and he's effective because he's strong, quick, and he's a finisher on the game. Compared to Adamo, Rafinha. To be fair, Lucas did get some goals, but he wasn't strong enough. and sometimes I didn't find him as quick enough. That's just me, how I play. So I went with Leon Bailey, who's, trust me, is effective. When you play with him, or if you ever played with him, you'll know what I mean. And at first, with no word of a lie, I started with Poulsen, and I rated Poulsen for a bit, but then I missed the little intricate thing I could do with Maxima, because like I said, I like to use the dribbling and the skill moves when I get in the attacking set. So I was thinking, who could I get? Like, that's a blend of these two, and I don't know why I forgot. So I had Zaha. So I bought Zaha. Alright, so because I bought Zaha and it didn't have his 10 chem, it didn't feel as good, so I had to start Poulsen. But every time I keep bringing Zaha on, I couldn't touch him. So I went with, it was either Zaha or Poulsen, just kept interchanging them two. But to be fair, if it was a game that I needed to win in FUT Champ, I always selected Poulsen because he was more effective there. Like, he was more suited there. And let's start off with the left and right back. I'm going to start off with the right back first. It's easy. You don't get no one else but Aaron Wan-Bissaka at right back. If you can get Kyle Walker, you get Kyle Walker. But like I'm saying, this is a cheap team. And he's probably the dearest player in it because he's still kept up a decent price. But you get Aaron Wan-Bissaka at right back. Left back for me, left back was a problem for me. Like, was a problem. I had Luke Shaw. He was good, but he was getting tired. But then he wasn't quick enough. I had a shadow on him. But that was a problem. I had Reguilon for a bit. And Reguilon was good. Like, it was good, but I couldn't cope with that. Like, my right backs and that. Like, Wan-Bissaka was good. Like, don't get it twisted. He'd probably still be my right back now, even though I had Kyle Walker. But Wan-Bissaka is good. He feels different. Like, for me, I go off how the players feel in-game when playing them. I don't look at the stats or anything like that. Because I also tried, I think it's Frederick from West Ham. And he felt decent, but wasn't good enough in a defensive sense. These two, I only rolled these two at the start because I packed him in a pack. I also had Eric Bailly for a minute, but just didn't feel good. So I went with Gomez, and I had Godfrey. Godfrey was quick on that, but he kept getting bullied. So I went with Rudiger. That was basically my defense for a bit. But I had Godfrey for a bit longer. Obviously, this is the Rudiger I packed after selling the one I bought. I had Gomez and Rudiger, and this was the spine of my team for a long time, barring the keeper. Alright. But that's the team I went with when I start. Mendy, he also had Areola. That's the team. But I packed Martinez, then I packed De Gea. But yeah, that's the team there that I started FIFA with. And it's effective, and it's probably a team I could jump on now and still get a few wins in Division 1 because they're very effective. And that's all I have to say on this video, people. If you like the video and like the content and want more, like, share, and leave your comment on what team and what players you started with and still got in your squad.